Some things dogs do are so weird. You can't help but wonder what's going on inside their heads. Why do they kick the ground after pooping? Why do they bark at absolutely nothing? And why in the world do they insist on sniffing each other's butts? As strange as these behaviors look to us, most of them actually come from instincts dogs have carried for thousands of years. And once you understand the reason behind them, they suddenly make a lot more sense. First, eating feces. Yeah, we're starting with the gross one. As disgusting as it seems to humans, this behavior actually has roots in survival instinct. In the wild, animals sometimes ate feces if there were still nutrients left inside it, especially during times when food was scarce. Mother dogs also clean up after their puppies by eating their waste to keep the den clean and avoid attracting predators. And puppies sometimes copy this behavior simply because they observe their mother doing it. Now, in modern dogs, frequent poop eating can sometimes point to boredom, stress, nutritional deficiencies, or digestive issues. So while occasional curiosity isn't always dangerous, repeated behavior is worth paying attention to.
Next, aggression on the leash. Have you ever noticed how some dogs act completely normal off-leash, but suddenly become reactive when restrained? That's because leashes can create frustration and tension. Dogs naturally communicate through body positioning, movement, and personal space. But when they're attached to a tight leash, those signals become restricted and awkward. And here's the interesting part. Dogs also pick up on our emotions incredibly fast. So if you tense up every time another dog walks by, your dog often senses that nervous energy and becomes more anxious too. Sometimes leash aggression isn't about dominance at all. It's stress, uncertainty, or frustration being expressed through barking and lunging. Then there's the famous spinning and sniffing before pooping. As funny as it looks, dogs aren't just being dramatic. When dogs go to the bathroom, they're in a vulnerable position. Circling helps them inspect the area, flatten the ground, and make sure they feel safe before settling down. The sniffing part is even more fascinating. Dogs gather information through scent constantly, and they're basically checking messages left behind by other animals in the area. To dogs, the ground is like social media, but entirely smell-based. Now let's talk about the smiling expression dogs make with an open mouth. Many dogs open their mouths wide when they're relaxed, happy, or excited. After exercise or play, this relaxed open mouth look often appears because dogs are feeling calm and content. But dogs also use facial expressions as communication. Sometimes that loose smile can signal friendliness and show they aren't a threat, especially during social interactions with other dogs.
And finally, sniffing other dogs' behinds. Humans introduce ourselves with names. Dogs introduce themselves with scent. Near a dog's rear are anal glands that release chemical information about them, including emotional state, health, diet, and identity. So when dogs sniff each other's backsides, they're basically exchanging detailed personal information in seconds. Weird? Absolutely. Efficient? Also yes. The funny thing is, dogs communicate with body language and scent constantly, but most humans only notice the obvious behaviors. That's exactly why we created our Dog Body Language Guide. It helps dog owners understand the subtle signals dogs use every day, from stress and anxiety to trust, comfort, and excitement, so you can better understand what your dog is really trying to communicate. And now I want to know, what's the weirdest thing your dog does on a daily basis?